Hello guys, it is Panda Guy. I'm here again with another video, and today we are looking at a comment by Rich Yeater, and he was basically asking me to go through a video talking about all the limitations for migrating, etc., and just maybe why you might want to migrate and just all that kind of stuff. And today I kind of wanted to do a video on that, so I do hope you guys enjoy. So to start off, I will just start by looking at the rules of migrating and such. And here I will go to uh, region like 30 or something, right? Let's say I click region 30. So first off, I want to mention that there are obviously limitations. So you must have enough immigration orders, which makes sense. You must have all your marches in your base. Your sheltering squads are not in battle, meaning you're not attacking someone, or someone's not attacking you, whatever it is. You're not in any alliance. You have to leave your alliance, obviously. The resources you're carrying do not exceed your warehouse's protection capacity, and I'll show you guys real quick what that means, because I know a lot of people struggle with this. I don't understand what that's about. I'm freaking not able to find it. So you can look here and you can see your warehouse capacity. Of course, mine is up by 750k due to research, but generally a max level 25 has 3 million food, for example. So I cannot go over 3 million food. I have to have only 3 million. If I wanted to migrate right now, I would have to dump about 100 million food and obviously these other resources. And you can see the levels and how much, capacity protection that you have here. And yeah, that's basically it. So that means you have to dump out almost all your resources and just leave enough for your warehouse capacity. So yeah, let's look back at these rules. So I go back to region 30 here. I hit random region, blah blah blah. There also can't be wounded units in your hospital, so obviously you have to heal up before moving, and no dead squads pending return. After immigrating, you need to wait 30 days before you immigrate again. And right now I'm on 20 days because I migrated about 10 days ago. I think also, by the way, no death squads pending return. I'm pretty sure that this refers to island raid. Don't quote me on that, but there's a 65% return from island raid when you get deads. So it does. I think that it means basically you can't move before that period if you already have kind of deads and stuff, because then you might get a bunch of that might back after island, right? So if you try to leave your alliance mid island and try to migrate after killing off all your troops, that is not really going to work. There will be no might restrictions for a target federation with more than 150 days. And basically, if you guys don't understand, as long as the region is 90 days old, I'm pretty sure that's what it is, your region is eligible to be moved to. So let's say I look at this region. Basically, it is open, but I can't move there because I don't meet the requirements. And you guys see it there, but if I go to region here, it still says under construction and it's at 89 days, right? But you guys get the point, right? Let's say I scroll back up here, I click back on region 30. So basically, the thing is, you cannot move into a region that's 90 to 150 days if you are not under the 5th strongest player. So if you are, I don't know, if you're migrating into a region and you're going to be top, maybe 5 or whatever, you cannot migrate there until it's at least 150 days old. And I also want to mention that as long as you are moving into a region where your might is in the top 50, you will be requiring extra immigration orders, and that's why you can see 25 extra immigration orders here. And just to move in general will cost me 50, and that's if I am not within the top, so-and-so in a region, right? Obviously. So you guys get the whole point of that. And now I just talk about why you might want to move, like just everything about that. So these are my opinions and how I feel about things. So I think that this will really depend on the region, obviously. If I am moving to, let's say, like in my case, region 4, I had my own reasons, be it I was a leader, I was stressed out, and I just want to change. This could also apply for people who feel that maybe they want to play on a bigger playing field, right? Whereas Boone, I think, is playing constantly in, the top bracket, whatever it might be, right? Obviously, they are fighting in a lot more higher level. There's a lot more coordination here, all that kind of stuff. And this is one reason that I really wanted to come here. Whereas if I'm playing with Prime, right, and I'm still in Region 1, I still think that that is a good choice in multiple different manners, be it, the skill level isn't as high. You don't have to kind of strain yourself as much. And that's one big thing, right? Obviously moving to region 4, it's much harder for somebody who's a lot smaller to compete in, either events or competing even in island, right? Because it's harder to get points, it's harder to fight because just the skill level is so much higher than it is in such a smaller region, right? Whereas you might want to be in, let's say, region 100, right? Region 100 isn't weak, but just use it as an example, right? Let's say region 100 is a much weaker region than Boons, right? And maybe the alliances are just in a much smaller bracket, be it like G10 or something, and you're just a much more average free-to-play player or low spender. You might want to be in that kind of region because, well, it might just be better and more suited for you, where you're not in all these high brackets, you're not forced to kind of compete on a higher scale. And there's also factors like, let's say that you don't spend much, but you're still in one of the higher ranking spots. You can fight more because you have more of an impact on how the whole game changes, and that can be just something that's really exciting as a player, right? Feeling like a lot of the weight is on your shoulders. This can sometimes be stressful, but depending on how you are, I guess that this can just be more fun. Be it you're a garrison captain, you're a rally captain. It really depends on the region, really depends on your brackets, really depends on your alliance, what your place is in that alliance. I think that you have to consider all this stuff. Another thing to consider, in Region 1, for example, in Top Commander, I had competed and I would be able to perform really well most of the time, right? And I would be able to take some of the top spots if I really wanted to, anytime I wanted to. But in Region 4, obviously there are a lot more stricter requirements and there are a lot more placements that make this much harder because, I'll kind of show you guys here. But even here, these are kind of placements that are pre-designed, whereas the leader of Boone kind of decides who gets the top 15 spots. If you contribute more, if he just thinks that you are a big player who's going to be able to put up numbers and he thinks you deserve that hero, or if you put up a lot of numbers regularly in Island and you deserve that hero because you'll actually make use of that hero, etc., right? You get a lot of kills, you have better gear, just in general, you guys get the gist, right? Here you have to actually perform well, you have to be placed into that spot, and you have to earn your position in more ways than just kind of taking it in points and all that. Whereas in Region 1, although it was also easier to get point wise, it's also that there was just less competition, right? And the competition, the skill level was way lower on just how many points people could put up, and it was much easier to place. But then on the other side of things, you can look at gifts, right? And obviously it just resetted, but you guys get the point, right? I get a pretty decent amount of gifts here, so growth generally in Boone is much better for me. So I think that me talking about this right here is just to explain why you might want to go to a bigger alliance or a bigger region or a smaller alliance in a smaller region. Just maybe makes more sense. I don't know if I sound a little stupid or cuckoo to you guys, but yeah, you guys get the point, right? There are just many things to consider, be it just how much you're going to have to fight, how hard the skill gap is. Because, another example, let's say you're 50 million might coming in a Boon, and I'll look at the rankings here, right? But the average, obviously me at 110 mil here, I'm ranked 24. You kind of go down here, blah blah blah. Let's say you're 50 million. Well, you're only going to be placing around rank 100, and you're probably going to be going into, let's say, G1 or G2. And the whole point of that is to say that your job isn't going to be on the field or something, whereas you might want to do something like that more often. You're not going to be able to put up numbers, and even if you are going on the field, you're going to be just useless when it comes to kind of maintaining field presence, honestly, for the most part. And at that point, a lot of your job is going to be in towers, and you're just going to have to be committing your account into filling towers and dying in towers. And just in general, it might be less fun or less enjoyable for one person who would prefer to be on the field, kind of brawling it out with more people their size. Just in general, I think these are things to consider. And, obviously, I don't know. I think that it's going to be more fun for me personally as a player to fight in Boone over Prime. And that's no offense to Prime. I honestly had an amazing time there. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I wanted to just say why you might want to go to one region over another. Obviously you might migrate because leadership is bad. If your leadership is tyrannical, you might just want to look for a newer region that has good leadership, and you can always ask around in that region that you want to move to. You can ask the alliances, you can ask their leadership, how they run the region, etc. It's just just a lot to think about, and I do hope that you guys kind of understood this video, and I hope it made some sense, and I hope it helps somebody, because I don't know if I just made a freaking fool of myself. But yeah, that is about it to the video. I just wanted to blab about that, why you might want to move, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you guys have a good day or night though, and that is about it. Peace out.